Peace, blessings, good morning, universe. Cymarshall Law, the creator's kid, here on episode -2, which is truly like the first episode of the Cymarshall Law Show. This is the Cymarshall Law Show. I just wanted to say thank y'all, everyone, for coming through. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even tell anyone I was doing this because sometimes you just gotta move in silence and do what you're doing because you never know who's really rooting for you and who is really trying to bring you down and smiling in your face. So, this is the Cymarshall Law Show. I want to start every show by saying thank you. It's something I do every day when I wake up in the morning, so I want to share that with y'all. So, Cymarshall Law Show, the thank yous. I'd like to thank the universe for allowing me to wake up this morning full of purpose. I'd like to thank the universal gods for my inner peace. I'd like to thank the universal gods for my inner happiness. I'd like to thank God, the creators, the great architects, the cosmic intelligence for my inner peace, my inner happiness, my health, my knowledge of self, my spiritual awareness, my family, my friends, happiness, laughter, success, infinite abundance, affluence, and blessings, peace and harmony. Love is the answer, always. So we can start the show now. It's your boy Cymarshall Law. Again, this is Cymarshall Law Show. So the premise of this show is really me getting off of my chest what I feel and what I think on a daily basis, because I feel like a lot of times we hold a lot inside, and I feel like a lot of the knowledge we have inside can benefit a lot of other people, but I feel like if we stay in our own inner circles, which we tend to do, the knowledge that we have never gets shared. So I feel like I have a lot to share. So, Cymarshall Law here for y'all. So let's just get into it. Morning thoughts. Let's start with morning thoughts. I want to start with enabling. This has been on my mind for quite some time now, and it's because I feel like right now a lot of people are obviously mentally stressing, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with what they allow, what they enable, whether that's allowing people to walk all over them, whether that's allowing their jobs to take advantage of them, whether that's allowing their so-called friends or family members to take advantage of them, whether that's you enabling, allowing yourself to walk down these paths that are dark and you know there's no way back from unless you get help from someone else to pull you out. So I feel like I know me personally, I have a terrible habit of allowing people to, how do I put this? I'm not always gonna come for you. I'm a very black and white type of person. Either I like you or I don't fuck with you at all. And there's this gray area that I've never been able to dwell in. I'm not really a gray area type of guy, and I feel like because of that, I don't show people that I can go from 0 to 100 real quick, and I think that's a lot of people. And I think personally, if you do not set boundaries for people, they will definitely walk all over you. So I'm naturally a giver, and it's like a lot of times if you're just a giver and you're straight give, some people don't know how to stop. Some people don't know how to be like, okay, I'm gonna stop taking from you and I'm gonna try to give something back into the pot. And I feel like you enable those people because it's like when you decide finally to stop being so nice or stop giving of yourself, or you finally decide to take a stand and tell someone about the fuckery they've been doing, they don't know how to handle it. And it's like, whose fault is that really? Is it their fault? Or is it your fault for enabling them? It's like, another way to look at it, it's like parents who jump up to save their children, whatever happens, whether they need their car insurance paid, or whether they need their cell phone bill paid, or whether they're missing their homework and the parents drive school to drop their homework off, or you could have like a kid and he's pissing and shitting all day in his diaper, and you're just allowing this kid, you're enabling him, and it's like, how does the kid learn on the toilet if you just keep enabling him and allowing him to shit in his diaper? How does the kid learn to be responsible if you just keep, every time he forgets his jacket at school, you drive him back to school to get his jacket, or every time he forgets his jersey at home during his basketball game, you run into his practice, you know what I'm saying, to give him his jersey? It's enabling, and I feel like it's a huge problem. And I feel like when things get too much for you or the person who's doing the enabling and they go to stop, unfortunately that person gets seen as the villain. And I think that shit is crazy, because it's like, you've taken this away from me, but it's like, yo, I was giving to you something of my heart for the longest time and you weren't giving anything back, and then finally I decided to be like, yo, you can't have that of me anymore. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to handle that when you finally decide to stand up for yourself and stop enabling. So I feel like that's been on my mind a lot recently, you know what I'm saying? Enabling. And a lot of the times when you have to stop giving of yourself, it's self-preservation, and you gotta be the bigger person in the situation to not attack when you're being attacked, because they don't understand that you have to stop giving of yourself in order for you to survive. But when you do that, they're gonna attack you, they're gonna be mad. But you have to decide in yourself where your limits are, where your boundaries are. So I think the thought for today is self-preservation and not enabling people to walk all over you to allow yourself to survive, because 2020 has been something, y'all. It's been something else. So moving right along, I wanna go into a joint from a friend of mine, a very prolific MC, dope MC. Him and I usually tend to come out with albums at the same time every year for some strange reason. Matter of fact, it's not even a strange reason. He works hard. He's a hard-working MC. It's one of my favorite MCs. And this year he came out with a joint called Don't Feed the Monster on Mellow Music. The joint is called Trauma by the boy Homeboy Sandman. And I'm playing this joint right now because I feel like a lot of people have been going through a lot of trauma in 2020. I myself came out with a joint called Demons of Our Memory. And yeah, I feel like this is I feel like it might have been a hard joint to write. I mean, he's deep in his career and he's just writing this now, and I feel like it's the perfect time because I feel like a lot of people go through inner trauma, and unless we express ourselves, that it can never truly be resolved. So we're gonna get into this joint right here. It's called Trauma by Homeboy Sandman. Yeah. Cymarshall Law Show. Let's get it. Big up Homeboy Sandman. Cymarshall Law. Let's go.
I got trauma from my mama. She used to beat me down as if she was the brown bomber. I couldn't figure out a way to make her feel calmer. I think about it now, it kinda made me feel somber. I used to think about it, didn't make me feel nothing. Acting like it mattered, didn't make me feel tougher. Feeling tough was really like my #1 focus. From growing up in the city, lots of people feel hopeless. And listening to music about sex and violence. Just a matter of time for we was like, let's try this. Started having sex when I was 12 years old. My brain wasn't even done growing. Coming from a mom that used to wild and bug. Before I was a teen, I really needed that love. 2 years later, she would dump me for a senior. Solidifying my misogynist demeanor. Hearts that young aren't meant to be broken. Later on, I get into incessant weed smoking. Now at 39, I still be wishing and hoping. Somehow we wind up together, I am not joking. But let me take it back before my parents got hitched. My pop was with a woman then that had it all wrong. By 5 years old, I would already think about sex. She used to let me hump her legs when he was gone. I know that sounds mad. Under the sheets, rubbing my crotch against the calves. I realize now I always knew that it was something bad. Cause up until this song, I always kept it from my dad. But how come any 5-year-old would wanna hump legs? I just might have to owe that to my neighbor next door. He was a little older and a little more mature. My mother caught us playing doctor, I was only 4. Luckily she caught us before we started using mouths, but not before I found out how it felt to get aroused. Now I think about it as a grown intellectual. Life as a shorter shouldn't be so sexual. I also should have never had a lot of BCS. That type of thing can really bring a kid a lot of stress. My mom had trauma too, so she was only doing her best. I figured they were gonna take me out of my address. No wonder my relationships with women always fail. What's crazy is I'm lucky cause at least I'm not in jail. Compared to everybody else, I had it so easy. Got family that was touched up by uncles that's so sleazy. Won't put their business in the street cause they know who they are. The question I have trouble answering is who am I? For almost 40 years I was afraid to even ask. My father always told me men are not supposed to cry. So every bit of pain I ever had I locked away. But now I'm here to let you know that that is not the way. I thought that I had tricked myself that I was being slick. That fantasy departed when I started getting sick. The doctors couldn't tell me any way to make it stop. My soul was under too much pressure, it was gonna pop. It turned out that the only way that I could ever heal is start to walk through all the trauma I had kept concealed. It hasn't happened overnight. I know that it might take a while, might even take a life. But one way or another, I just gotta make it right. Right?
Yeah. So, that was the boy. Homeboy Sandman. Shout out to him, Mellow Music Group. Dropping some dope music always. So yeah, that joint was called Trauma, and it's funny, me and Sandman had a quick email back and forth when he dropped that joint, because I was dropping this joint right here. It's called Freefall. The beat originally sent to me by producer Mudblood from Russia. We obviously made that album Sui Generis together, and she always names her beats what she wants the beat to sound like. So she named this beat right here Freefall, and when I heard it, I tend to write about what the producers send me the beat. So if she named the beat Freefall, I'm looking for something to sync with what she named the beat. So I'm thinking about this beat, and I'm thinking about someone falling and falling and falling, and then I start thinking about someone who has a demon in their past that they've never dealt with, and because they've never dealt with this demon, they're constantly falling, like a never-ending fall. And I feel like a lot of us struggle with a lot of demons from our past. Sometimes a lot of things happen to us that we don't even acknowledge in our past, and later on in our lives, this thing is tearing us up, and we didn't even know that at the time it would cause us to have this pain. And that could be not getting enough attention as a kid. That could be getting beating as a kid. It could be anything. It could be it's all different things for all different types of people. But the point is, we don't deal with these demons, and they come back to haunt us later on in life, and we deal with them all different types of ways. And sometimes we don't deal with them, and we end up doing shit like drinking, smoking, just all types of shit. So I want to dedicate this episode to everyone going through some type of trauma or some type of mental pain, mental health issue, and struggling to deal with it, because I know it's a lot going on right now. Obviously I keep hearing that this vaccine is 95% done, or like 90% done, and I'm like, are you taking it first? Because I thought vaccines should be like tested for like a year or 2 or something. And suppose they tell you that you can't get a job unless you take this vaccine that's only been tested for a month or 2. Or if they tell you that your child can't go to school unless they take the vaccine. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't take the vaccine, but I am saying that the shit ain't been tested, and are you gonna go first? Because shit, your boy ain't going first. I know that's for sure. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. My daughter said to me the other day, suppose we take the vaccine and we start turning into zombies. And I'm like, yo, I didn't want to scare her, but I feel like a lot of times they give us the truth in books and movies and TV shows before it actually happens. And I'm not saying there's gonna be a zombie apocalypse, but I am saying they're trying to give us a vaccine that has only been tested for a month or two. So if I start walking towards you, like, you better be out. You better be out. No, I'm joking. I'm not though. So, yo, you never know. I feel like a lot of these people might be something else anyway. Yesterday, I seen the boy Giuliani with something slithering down the side of his joint, and I'm like, is that makeup, my guy? I can't call it, but a lot of times you never know what's going on. I'm not saying the man is a zombie. I'm just saying that they say that oh man. So moving right along, I'm hearing that the boy Klay Thompson, Achilles tear, gonna be out for the whole year before the year even started. Say a prayer for you, Klay. I feel pain for anybody that I know has a passion for something, whether that's writing, drawing, anything that you really feel passionate about, and then that shit gets taken away from you, and then you have to wonder why. Like, why? I spend a lot of my time asking questions like why, and then trying to answer them myself. But it's like, yo, why did Klay have to be injured? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? A lot of times I find the answers through meditation, not for other people's issues, I mean like my own, but you know, it gotta suck to love something and then that shit be taken away and you not have a clear answer as to why. But I always find out in the long run why things happen to me. And sometimes I feel like at the time it's terribly hard to see. You could be going through all types of shit, and it's like, when is this gonna end? When is the struggle gonna end? But I feel like the struggle at the end of the day is what makes us great. I feel like the journey is who we are. A lot of times people are traveling on this journey and they're trying to like get to the end, but there is really no end. There is really no end, my friend. I don't know if there was ever a beginning. It's just like we're on this journey of self-evolving, and it should never end, because I feel like there's always greater levels to get to, and there's always something to learn. There's always going to be someone who can teach you, and the moment you decide to, get complacent is the moment you start dying. And I feel like a lot of people are very, very complacent, and they're complacent out of fear. I feel like I was telling my man, Ace Wonder, we did the joint Crossroads together, the album, big up Ace Wonder, that I feel like 98% of people are stuck in their current situations in life, whether that's a relationship with their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, or their job, or a team, whatever it is. I feel like 98% of people are very fearful of change. And I can't say I blame them. That shit is scary. But I know I know this is my life. This is my life. So I'm going to do whatever I want right now. And at the end of the day, if I don't get where I'm going, then it's all me. However, am I going to sit here and allow you to dictate where I'm going to go? No. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But I feel like that's a common issue with a lot of people. They're scared of change, and then they stay in these situations, and then they become depressed, stressed out. And I feel like the longer you stay in a terrible situation, the harder it is to get out. And the reason I'm able to get out of these so-called terrible situations are, like I tell my children, is because the love of myself. It's literally the love of myself. And it's like, who are you gonna be? This is your life. Are you gonna let me tell you what your next step is? You're gonna let me tell you who you are? So why would you allow a relationship with a job or a person to tell you who you are on your journey. This is your journey. And it's never about the destination. It's about right now. This is the journey right now, right now. So it's like, what are you doing? Are you about to get up and go to work for a company that don't give no fucks about you? Is that's what this is? That's what you were meant for? Like, that's God's big plan? Nah, fam, not at all. I don't believe that. So, I'm here. I'm gonna do what I do every single day, and I'm gonna do this shit till the wheels fall off. And I feel like you should do the same. I feel like that is the basis of me doing this podcast, to tell people that every day I'm gonna keep driving it home, because I look at a lot of people and I'm just like, why? Like, you only got, I think there's like 84,600 seconds in a day. And a lot of times people waste those seconds on what they do not love. And I can't deal. It's never been me. I can't even tell you, because you never know when you're going to be deep into your shit and you're going to be Klay Thompson and come out with an Achilles tear, and what you love gets taken away from you. And then it's like, where do you go from there? At least Klay can say, yo, I was doing what I love. At least. But imagine now you haven't been doing what you love the whole time, and then what you love gets taken away from you on top of that. It's like you're just left with the BS. So it's like, yo, live your life right now, because you never know what's next. And appreciate your family, appreciate your people, take care of your mental health. You know what I'm saying? We get some time to relax, watch, some TikToks, some Instagrams. Yesterday, I believe, was the Jeezy battle with Gucci. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I know a lot of y'all checked that out. Big up to both those artists. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit I like to watch. Yesterday I was in here and I watched New Mutants. They finally decided to drop New Mutants on TV. I felt so bad, because I'm a movie guy, and I love X-Men, Avengers, DC, Marvel. I know that what I just said were Marvel. Don't get it twisted. I know my stuff. So they finally decided to drop New Mutants, and I was the one renting that joint for $5.99, because I was not about to go see that joint in the movies during COVID. No. AMC opened the joint up, and I was like, yo, but who's going? I'm not going to the movies during COVID. Did you go? I wouldn't go. So I seen New Mutants in here yesterday, and my review, trash. Nah, it wasn't trash. Nah, it was trash though. I mean, if you consider a movie that is, let's say, 6 out of 10 trash, should be trash, then it must have been trash. And the reason I'm saying that is because, I always find something I like in movies, so it's hard for me to call another artist's work trash, because I feel like if you are an artist, who am I to say your shit is trash? Because who am I to say what's perfect and what's not perfect? I feel like life is imperfectly perfect. That's why I came out with the album called Imperfectly Perfect. So this movie is imperfectly perfect, but the parts that I do like about it, I like the special effects, man. I like seeing powers. I like, I like supernatural, anything with someone who has something coming out their hand, fire, blueness, whatever, I'm on it. I grew up reading comic books, So New Mutants, the story wasn't all that great. However, I used to read that comic book when I was a kid, so as far as me seeing that stuff come to life, I love it every time. Of course, I'm gonna watch it, but someone who doesn't watch, never read comic books, who's not familiar with like the characters or anything, they might say it's just another comic book movie that they're trying to cash in and make money off, and they wouldn't be wrong. I want to know what happened to like just good ass movies, like a Bronx Tale, The Departed, like good ass movies. Carlito, like good ass movies. I feel like there's a hell of an opportunity right now for some dope ass movies to come out. I really haven't. I can't think of any movie in the last few months that I've been like, yo, son, did you see that movie? And if you can name any, please let me know. I'll be very interested to hear. However, I tell you what was fucking dope as shit that I watched last night. My brother put me on to this. I was scrolling down Facebook last night and I seen him write this, and he wrote, y'all need to check out the Souls of Mischief 93 to Infinity documentary. And so I checked it out. It's on YouTube right now. I checked out the whole joint last night, and I would have to say I loved it. Like, I loved it. Big up the whole Hieroglyphics crew. Some of the dopest MCs to ever come out of hip-hop. I was gonna say out of the West Coast, but nah, some of the dopest MCs and one of the dopest collectives to ever be born from hip-hop, the Hieroglyphics crew. I always admired them. They always had their own style, and I feel like a lot of times in hip-hop, we say, yo, we want someone with a new style. We want someone with something fresh. And I feel like when someone decides to be different or sound different, I feel like initially a lot of times that shit gets hated on. But I'm like, yo, in the beginning of hip hop, didn't y'all say this shit was supposed to be about originality and new styles and not biting nobody's shit? But as soon as like someone decides to be different, if they're not known, it's like people shy away from it and they shit on it. And I feel like it's a big deal that the Soldier Mischiefs have that documentary, because I feel like their story is one of the greatest in hip hop, because it's like with Souls of Mischief, whole Hieroglyphics crew, how they came together, and they had all different styles, and it's just like their styles connected, they vibed off each other, they really freestyled. It's like they were hip hop through and through, you know what I'm saying? So big up to the Souls of Mischiefs, the whole Hieroglyphics crew. Incredible documentary. If you get a chance to check that out, I highly recommend it. That over New Mutants. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just gotta be how it is. So, you know what I'm saying? Moving right along. Let's get into another joint. This time we're gonna get into one of my joints. I think I wanna play a joint off my current album. Current album is called Sui Generis. It's with a producer named Mudblood out of St. Petersburg, Russia. She's a brilliant producer, one of my favorite producers. And I feel like this next joint I'm gonna play is called Duality. And Duality is a joint that I wrote because I feel like everything has an opposite. Everything has two sides, and I feel like that's just something that me as an artist, I explore. Every time I put my pen to the page, I'm thinking about opposites. I'm thinking about up, down, left, right, hot, cold. But I had never written a song about it, and it's so core to me as an artist. I felt like I should write a song about it. Not only that, I feel like it's core to life. When you're able to see the duality in things, the pictures always come clearer, because everything has more than one side. We might favor one side to the other, but if we can be aware of both sides, we can always make a clearer decision or judgment. So I wrote this song called Duality, and it just, I feel like it's one of my best written songs on the album, because I just love the way I'm connecting the words. But yeah, this joint is called Duality. The new Cymarshall Law Mudblood album, Sui Generis, is out now. This joint is called Duality. Everything has an opposite, the world's about duality.
What's your mentality? Pauper or the majesty? Got your head on straight or are you bordering insanity? Struggle to keep your feet on the ground or you gravity? Listen, are you trying for the tragedy? Rich with the raggedy, suffers with the vanity. Will your story end happily or happily? The choice is yours, the world is built on duality. Are you positive or negative? The hero or the villain? Are you the type to do the most talking and do you listen? Fact or opinion? Every day in life we make a decision. Freedom or prison? Science is unbelief or religion? You greedy or giving? Hold grudges or are you forgiven? Breaking or fixing? Just beginning? Or are you quitting? Losing or winning? Clear or confused with your vision? Legends never die, but some people alive and not living. You climbing and digging, losing and gripping. Or are you sticking? Growing and shrinking? Playing it safe or risking? Swimming and sinking? Being unthoughtful? Or are you thinking? Fresh you stinking? Break the chain or are you linking? Against the willing? Giving props or are you dissing? Bringing people together or the one that causes division? Need motivation or the self starting ignition? What's your depiction? Cause we all have a description. Everything has an opposite. The world's about duality. What's your mentality? Pauper or the majesty? Got your head on straight or are you bordering insanity? Struggle to keep your feet on the ground or you gravity? Listen, are you trying for the tragedy? Rich with the raggedy, suffers of the vanity. Will your story end angrily or happily? The choice is yours, the world is built on duality. You full of love or full of hate, terrible or something great. Impatient or gonna wait, crooked or brother straight. A person of the more than they all unite. Flee or leave you fight, the darkness of the light, the blindness of the sight. What is wrong or what is right, the bravery of the bright, the nightmare of the dream. Do you operate as a solo act or a team? Exude confidence, have trouble with self-esteem. Man and machine, suffer in silence and steam. Do you hold a corner or do the most cause you're extreme? Spiraling down, the crowd this year is your attention. Disappearing in the crowds of the center of attention. Go with the floor, objection, raw or contraception. Never read the manual or do you study the lesson? Got a clue or you guessing? The answer of the question, I reckon inside of us all, there's hell or heaven. Everything has an opposite, the world's about duality. What's your mentality? Pauper or the majesty? Got your head on straight or are you bordering insanity? Struggle to keep your feet on the ground or you gravity? Listen, are you trying for the tragedy? Rich with the raggedy, suffers of the vanity. Will your story end angrily or happily? The choice is yours, the world is built on duality. What's right without wrong? Up without down, a smile without a frown, a mainstream without the underground. Are you a leader or a freezer? Follower or leader? Silent heart, never speaker, shallow one of the deeper. Woke with the sleeper, expensive taste of the cheaper. When you get thrown back in the ocean, are you a keeper? Student or teacher? Faith strong or non-believer? Giver or receiver? Underwhelmer, overachiever? The type to say fuck the rules and follow in procedure. Either got a made about Paul to pay Peter. Hesitant or eager to starve with the feature. Don't want the smoke, got a medical card for reefer. You either get ether or you get ether. It's every creature, from a child to a senior, from the king to the queen to every street sweeper. Life will always be the duality dealer. Everything has an opposite, the world's about duality. What's your mentality? Pauper or the majesty? Got your head on straight or are you bordering insanity? Struggle to keep your feet on the ground or you gravity? Listen, are you trying for the tragedy? Rich with the raggedy, suffers of the vanity. Will your story end angrily or happily? The choice is yours, the world is built on duality.
Yeah, that is your boy Cymarshall Law, producer Mudblood. The album is called Sui Generis, out now. So, moving right along. Yo, big up to Mr. Joker. This instrumental playing right now off our album Hip Hop and the Soul 3. It's been out. Yo, big up to Joker. Moving right along. I wanna give y'all the quote of the day. The quote of the day for today's date, Friday, November 20th, 2020. Today's quote of the day, turn this down a little bit. Today's quote of the day, let's talk about it, is a Nigerian proverb, one of my favorite quotes. And when I was down, one of my lowest points, I feel like I came across this proverb and it made me smile inside. So the quote of the day is, if your face is swollen from the severe beatings of life, smile and pretend to be a fat man. Jewel. I'll read it again. If your face is swollen from the severe beatings of life, smile and pretend to be a fat man. Nigerian proverb, quote of the day. So, I appreciate that quote because it's like, you gotta dance in the rain. You gotta dance in the rain, and I feel like the thunderstorm that has been 2020, we'd be danceless if we couldn't dance in the rain. I mean, the year started off with Kobe passing. That was this year. And I feel like it's just been one thing after another. And I feel like if you do not learn to dance in the rain or smile and pretend to be a fat man after you've got severely beaten by life, it's over for you, man, because it's like, no one never said that there wasn't gonna be bad days. Like, this is life, that whether it's good, we gotta take the good, the bad, and the ugly together. And I don't believe that all life was meant to be good. I don't think all life was meant to be bad. I feel like it's the journey. And I feel like a lot of times people get too high on the highs and they get too low on the lows. And they think that life is only supposed to be about the highs, but that's terribly wrong. If you feel that, you're setting yourself up to be hurt. That's facts on facts, because life is about the journey, and the journey it has hills, it has mountains, it goes up and down, and I feel like when they're down, the best way to get back to the top is to not be a victim, is to not be down on yourself. It's like I tell my kids, I'll give you an example, a small example, but hopefully you can see how it comes into bigger. I might tell my kid to clean the kitchen, right? And he might be dragging his feet to go and clean the kitchen. And it might take him an hour and a half to clean the kitchen because he's dragging his feet. He doesn't want to do it. He's not doing things that he blatantly should be doing because he's upset that he has to do it. He's down. He's not smiling and pretending to be a fat man. So he takes an hour to do it. The thing about that is that if he were able to smile through the work, if he were able to dance in the rain, not only would that downtime be more enjoyable, the work would get done better and it would get done faster. The fact that he's dragging his feet has made the job take an hour when really it could have taken 15, 20 minutes. If he just came in like, yo, I'm just gonna come in and do what I gotta do, because you know what I'm saying? If I complain about it, I'm gonna be down at the bottom forever. So it's like, when life gives you severe beatings, because life will give you severe beatings, you gotta smile and pretend to be a fat man. And I feel like when you do that, you actually send the universe a message that says you're not staying down. And I feel like when the universe sees that you are fighting for yourself, I feel the universe fights for you. I truly believe that through and through. I feel like when you, and that's with anything, I feel like when you take steps to better yourself or another person or a situation, the universe takes steps towards you to better that situation as well. I believe that through and through. So that's today's quote, proverb of today, Nigerian proverb. Big up to whoever originally wrote that. A lot of times I find these quotes on the internet, and I find like several different authors, and I'm like, yo, I feel like somebody found the quote and they said it one day and they didn't properly give whoever wrote it originally the credit. So whoever heard it was like, oh, I heard it from so-and-so, so he's the author. That shit is crazy. You gotta give people the credit for their work. You gotta give people credit for their work, whether that's artists, you know, just people in general. A lot of people stealing shit nowadays, especially in 2020. Will Smith said some shit the other day. He said nothing's original anymore because as soon as you put the shit on the internet, someone hop in to bite it. These are facts on facts on facts. So yeah. But anyhow, moving right along. I want to give today's day. Every Friday, I'm gonna give a person of the day. Every Friday, I'm gonna give a person of the day. Every day, I'm gonna give a quote of the day. But every Friday, I'm gonna give a person of the day. And today's day, person of the day, because it's the first show, and he inspired a lot of the things that I do. Today's person of the day, as it's Scorpio season, is gonna be my father. Rest in peace, Edgar Ricardo Simmons. Ricky Dredd. The reason why my father is today's person of the day is because he is the main person that I've known in this life to take the bull by the horns and do what he wanted to do. And that's where I learned it from. My dad would find the hugest book continuously, and I'd always see him sitting down, and it wouldn't be like a storybook, it would be like a manual on how to like do something. And from the youngest ages, I remember him reading like something he knew totally nothing about, a big ass book, read it from beginning to end, and then become a master on the shit. I saw him do it over and over again. He was always recreating himself. He never settled. He always he was an innovator. He could build anything, and he never wanted to conform to the system of any system. He was who he was, and you gotta appreciate that, because back to what I was saying earlier about people not being brave enough to leave their situations, whether that's a job or a relationship. My dad was the bravest. He was the bravest because he always fought for what he believed in. And I feel like that's something that's lacking today. I feel like a lot of the kids don't believe in nothing. Not even themselves. And I don't know whether that's a generational thing or where it's coming from, but it's like I see it a lot. So I think a lot of it might have to do with social media, to be honest. It's like, because when you're on social media, you're getting all these thoughts from articles you're reading, from videos you're watching, from the celebrities you're following, from whoever. And I feel like a lot of originality is being lost because people wake up in the morning and they just can't wait to see what somebody else is doing. And I think that hinders yourself. It hinders who you are. It hinders who you can become. And I feel like a lot of times people just get lost in the sauce, and by the time they find themselves, it's later in life. And I feel like my dad never did that. He always showed me that if you have an idea, you can always bring it to life. You can always research it. You can always read a book and figure it out. I suppose that's one of the biggest lessons he gave me. If I want to speak about the lessons he gave me, so you can always figure it out. Everything always has an answer, and every question you've ever had, there was probably somebody who had the same question. So if you dig deep enough, you can probably find the answer that someone else found before you, and then add it on to the answer you found for yourself. So it's not always necessarily about taking what someone else says as your own answer. It's about taking as many answers as you can find, and then taking from those answers what is useful, and then throwing away from those answers what you no longer need. And then after that, adding a piece of yourself. And then I feel like that is sui generis. That's how you become unique. That's how I feel like that's what God intended. We're all unique. None of us are the same, but I feel like some of us are just able to harness our superpowers better. I feel like our individuality is our superpower. And I feel like some people don't know that. And I feel like the people who don't know that the most are the ones that run around following people. And I'm like, yo, you're not even knowing. Like, yo, this shit that's inside of you, nobody can do. That's just you. It's you. It's straight up and down you. So it's like, are you going to follow these celebrities? Because those celebrities are who they are because they were able to tap into who they are. And sometimes, you know what, actually celebrities, I've seen some celebrities copy other people's flavor. And I don't even get mad at that because I'm like, at least they understand that part, that thing that everyone has. There's some individual dopeness in everyone, and some people are able to see it in themselves, and some people are able to see it in other people. And sometimes you can see it in someone else and they can't even see it in themselves. And I feel like a lot of times people jack other people's styles because they can see the dopeness in each other. But I feel like the dopest people are the ones that don't need to jack anything from anyone because they know their internal source is unlimited. And that's the jewel. That is the jewel. Your internal source is unlimited. I feel like a lot of times people feel like there's not enough. There's not enough sun, there's not enough shine to go around for everyone. But there's always enough. There's always enough sun, there's always enough shine, there's always enough love, there's always enough money. Inside of you though, I feel like we look outside for these things, but inside, there's always enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. It's just, are you gonna pull it out? Do you think you're worthy enough? You're worthy. I'm telling you, you're worthy. Why would you be here if you're not worthy? You are worthy. So this is like what the Cymarshall Law Show is gonna be, because I feel like a lot of the things that I speak on in my daily life that y'all don't get to see, I feel like y'all need to see that, because I feel like I have a lot of good things to say. And Virgos versus everyone. Nah. Yo, if you like some of the gear you're gonna be seeing on here, because you're gonna be seeing me in new fly shit all the time, that's because what I do. hiphopintheflesh.com. Check the merch store in there. If you want to donate to the show, if you want to, if you love Cymarshall, direct message, you know what I'm saying? I'm usually pretty responsive. As long as you're respectful, I'll respond. And yeah, I wanna thank y'all for listening. I know this is the first show, but it's actually negative too. I don't want to even call this the first show. It's just me kind of getting used to the digs and seeing what I'm gonna be doing going forward. But all in all, this is Cymarshall Law. It's the Cymarshall Law Show, and this is it. This is me doing what I love on a daily basis and sharing it with y'all, uplifting y'all, giving y'all a good energy to start your day with. That's what I want to do for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a morning guy, so I'll be doing this every morning. So I'm gonna be with y'all every morning until I decide not to be. So on that note, I want to say thank y'all for listening. This has been Cymarshall Law Show, episode -2. Peace, love, and positive energy. And I'm out.